Good evening, good evening. How everyone doing today? God is good and God is good all the time. My name is Armin J. I'm a spiritual divine. I'm here to give you a word on today. It is beautiful out here. I'm at City Park and it is nice out here. I mean, y'all might say that the sun is too hot, but I love the sun. The topic gonna be Joshua took charge. You remember Joshua was working along with Moses. So after the death of Moses, the Lord said to Joshua, Moses, my servant, depart. You and all these people get ready to cross the Jordan River into the land I am about to give to the Israelites. Now Moses depart. So now God is telling Joshua he about to lead these people. He told him to get ready. So in Numbers, okay, so now we about to go back. We about to go all the way back why God chose Joshua out of all the people. So in Numbers chapter 13, 16, Moses sent out 12 men out to explore the land. So 1325 at the end of the 40 days. Now they're supposed to go out for 40 days and come back with a report. So they returned from exploring the land and they reported to the whole assembly that the report was that the people lived there was powerful. They said the people looked big. They said it looked like grasshopper under the people. They said the land was. They said the city was large, tall, had big tall walls. I mean, this was like talking in fear. So they was talking in fear. So Clavius, he silenced the people, and he told them let him go up. So Joshua and Clavius had went up and explored the land. Okay, so when they explored the land, they had this woman, this prostitute there. She hid them because the people realized two people was on the land spying. Because see what it is when you in a battle and God said He gonna be with you. God can hide you in the mix of your chaos. Now it's not a coincidence that this lady just took them in and hid them from her own people that were looking for them. That was God doing. That was God doing. God had her to hide them two until it was clear to go back to the Israelite. So after it was clear, the lady let them go, and before Joshua told her that God gonna bless you from saving us. Because anytime anybody that's saved or respect the people that God is dealing with, He will bless them too. So after the Israelites after they came back with their report, they said the land we passed through and explored is good. They said it's good and we can take it down. So Joshua had courage, he has faith, no matter that he had to hide them few days. He still had faith that he wanted to take this down. So Joshua started working from that day on. He came back with that good report, even though he had to hide. God had him hide. It wasn't no coincidence that this woman just hide them like that. That's God done, because see, God can hide you in the mix of your battle until it's clear that He'll bring you out to the front field. So that's when Joshua started working with Moses side by side. So that's how he got the experience to why God had chose him. So after Joshua had courage and he calmed the people down, because remember, the other group had a bad report. And so Joshua and the other man was the only two out of their 12 came back with a good report. So, and they calmed the people down because the Israelites like, why he taking us to this? Them people too big. He had the people all hysterical. So Joshua calmed them down. So Moses knew he would soon be departed. Because you remember God told him he was not going to be able to even step foot on the promised land. But God let him go to the mountaintop and see it. So that's when Moses started training Joshua. He started training Joshua. So that's how Joshua get to be picked by God. So that was the background of Joshua, the reason why God had chose him to lead the Israelite after Moses departed. So we're gonna go. So Joshua, no one will be able. They're gonna come from Joshua chapter 1, 5-9. No one will be able to stand up against you all the days of your life. Okay, I will be with you and I will not leave you nor forsake you. Now God told him to be strong and courage, because you will lead these people to inherit the land I swore to your forefathers to give them. Be strong and very courage. Be careful to obey all the law the servant of Moses give you. Now, God told him to be strong. And he also told him to be careful to obey the law. Because see, when God gives you an assignment, just because you're a Christian and just because you're doing what God asks you to do, he expects for you to still obey his law. Because you leading people. You leading people, so he wants you to still follow the law. Because when they see you following the law, most likely the people will start following your lead. So he told him to be careful and obey all the law the servant Moses give you. Do not turn from the left or to the right, that you may be successful wherever you go. So he keep the law, he keep the command that God is giving him. Moses wrote everything up. So God told him, you'll be successful wherever you go. Wherever your hand touch, you will be successful. He said, do not let this book of the law depart from your mouth. Meditate on it day and night. And so God told him to meditate on it, meaning read that word every day. Suck it in into your heart, your mind, and your soul. Because once you start sucking it in, because you got to love God all your days of your life. And you have to remember that God is the one to carry you and save you through anything. Nobody else can save you. Nobody else can save you. Nobody but God. So that you may be careful to do everything that's written in it. Then you'll be prosperous and successful. Have I not commanded you to be strong and courage? Do not be terrified. Now he's telling him to be strong, be courage, and he had told him to don't be terrified. He about to lead these people. So he told him, don't be terrified. Just be strong, be courage. God gonna be with you. Long as you keep his word, long as you acknowledge that he is leading you and he protecting and saving you, he gonna be with you for the rest of your life. So do not be discouraged, for the Lord, your God, will be with you wherever you go. And that's what I was just saying. Long as you keep his word, do what he tell you to do, he will be with you wherever you go. And see, long as you got God in your life, you're going to be successful. But long as you pull God out of your life and you feel like you don't need him because you done got rise to the top, then just like he did Saul, his spirit had departed from Saul because Saul wanted to do things his way. So you have to still depend on God. And you have to acknowledge that God was the one that fight your battle. God was the one that pulled you through. God is the one that always gonna be there for you when everybody turn their back on you. Who you can call on in the middle of the night? God. Anybody else gonna answer that phone? So you have to acknowledge that. You have to acknowledge God, and you have to have him in your life all the days of your life for you to be proud and successful. Just because you got money, God the one give it to you, he can take it away. So you have to keep God in your life in order for you to still be successful and prosper all the days of your life. Now Joshua took all that in. That God told him all this here. So now he took it in. So Joshua ordered the officer of people to go through the camp and tell the people to get your supplies ready. So he taking in charge already. He get his officer orders, and he told them get all the supplies together and stuff like that. He ready to go to work. So 3 days from now, you will cross the Jordan here to go in. So they had 3 days to get their supplies and get everything together and take possession of the land the Lord your God is giving you for your own. This gonna be their land. This gonna be their land. Now he took all that in what God told him, and then he took charge. He had told his officers, go get all the people together, get all your supplies together, because in 3 days we about to possess this land. So he believed in God and he took God's word. Okay, so now we see that Joshua, he didn't waste no time. He sucked all that in what God was telling him. He hurried up and give orders to his officer. So now we see after Moses departed, Joshua got trained. So God told him to get ready. Now he said, get ready. After God said, get ready, because you got 3 days to get yourself together. So two, God also told him to be strong and courage. Because to take a lead on, you have to be strong and you have to be courage, because that's a big load you have to take on. So sometimes that's why God allow you to be in a battle and get toughened up and all this kind of stuff. Because sometimes He might have a big project for you to do, and you need to be strong and courage to handle it. Three, God told him to be careful to obey the law. Now, after God give you assignment, and then after He encourage you and tell you to be strong, God gonna also tell you you have to obey His law. He has said, obey His law. Don't forget about Him. You have to still pray. You have to read that word. Wrote up scriptures and stuff like that for them to carry on. So He wants them to constantly keep on reading and constantly keep on praying. Don't stop because you got on top. you know so God said, if you constantly obey His rule, you will be prosperous. Nobody won't be able to stand against you. That was at the beginning. Nobody won't be able to stand against you if you keep God in your life, and you be and keep His word. Keep His word. Meditate on His word. Now, folks, God give you assignment, and there are rules you have to still follow. So when you have God in your life, God gives you assignment. Don't think because you done made it to the top. You think because God is filing, God told you to take possession of the land, and you figure, you get the land. That's it. No, that ain't it. That's not it. God will still want you to still pray and still acknowledge Him every day. He don't want you to just get there, and He wants you to still follow His rule. Now, 5, God wants you to meditate on His word day and night. And that's true. That just me. I'm fasting. So I get up in the morning, I pray and read. And at nighttime, before I go to bed, I pray and read. So you have to get in a habit of doing this for the rest of your life. You will be successful, and nobody won't be able to stand against you. Because, see, you got to have that armor of God on you. And he about to lead these people. You need that armor, and I preach on that last month sometime. You need that armor of God on you. So praying praying and reading in the morning and night is perfect. So you got to meditate on that. You have to have that in your mind and in your soul to survive. I'm telling you, because if you don't pray and read, and you enter out your go out your door, no telling what's gonna come at you. But if you pray, don't mean when you pray you're not gonna have trial. You're gonna have trial, but you're gonna know what direction to take after been covered by the blood of Jesus when you leave out your house. So praying and reading, you do every day, and God will prosper you, and you will be successful. And if you follow God's law, have faith and courage. Now, see, Joshua had faith when they explored that land. No matter how big they was. The other group was like, oh, they're too big. They're like, we like grasshopper under them. Oh, the wall too tall. They were talking in fear. And see, when Georgia came back, he was not talking in fear. He had confidence that we could take this. We can do this. But you only can do it if God is on your side. Because God got the power. You just follow the direction, and He'll blow that wall down. I preached on that last month too, how they tore that whole wall down. So if you follow God's law and have faith and courage and believe in Him, that He is guiding you through. And that's why I was saying, don't think you're doing it on your own. You always have to let God acknowledge. You always have to acknowledge God, that He is the one fighting your battle. He is the one that's guiding you through. You're not doing it on your own. You're not doing it on your own. And if you keep God in your life, He will keep your mind in perfect peace to help you get through it. I know, because I know they're helping me get through it. They're helping me with my mind. That I've been following their lead just by praying and reading and following His signs. And we have a communication through revelation. That's another thing. That's why he wants you to constantly read your Bible. Because sometimes when you open that Bible, God's speaking to you. He speak to you through his word. Now God will be with you wherever you go. But you have to follow these rules. Once you not following his rules, his spirit will depart from you like he did Saul. Now Joshua took everything in what God told him, and he took charge. He gave orders to his officer, and Joshua had faith and courage, and he ready to take on. He ready to take on. He ready to lead the Israelite and take that promised land. You know, he wanted to do what God had set him out to do. You know, he worked it real hard with Moses, so he was well trained. He was well trained to take on. Now he took all that in what God had told him to do, and he was ready. Soon as he took that in with God, he told the officer, "Come on, now we got 3 days. Y'all get the people together, get the supplies together." He was ready to roll. And it took him too long to say, you know, because one thing back then when I told you the background, he did not have fear. The other group had fear. They were talking about the people too tall, the city was too tall, the wall was too tall. But when Joshua went over there, he didn't saw that. Joshua did not have fear. He was ready to take on the army. He was ready to tear down the wall. He was ready to go through it. Because one thing he know, and wherever you assignment that you have, always remember that God on your side. If God tell you to go through, you're gonna take that land down. You're gonna tear walls down. You're gonna do whatever it takes. God is right there. God is right there. And so you always have to have courage and you have to have faith. That's just like me. I'm walking to my purpose. I never thought I could do all this here, but I've been doing it. I've been doing it. And I've been following God's lead. I've been letting God in my life and following his lead. And once you let God in your life and guide you, you're gonna be able to do anything that you thought you couldn't do. You know, but you got to let him take charge. You know, I've been reading and praying. Once you read and praying, you clearing your mind for him to take charge and lead you in the direction that you should go. You know, so Joshua did not have fear. He was so ready to take on. After God got through talking with him, he gives officer orders like, "We got 3 days. Let's do this here." You know, so he was ready to take charge. So Joshua took charge, and he was with Moses for a long time before he got in place. You know, because you know God told Moses you wasn't gonna see the promised land. You know, you can climb that mountain and see from the view, but you weren't gonna step your foot on it. You know, so God told him you might as well pick pick which one you want to train. You know, so that there was two of them. It was Joshua and Clement. You know, so when Joshua did Paul, I guess you know I got to read on that too. Clement he gonna take in charge, but then when he to get ready to take in charge, he being a guy old. He said, but I still feel like a young one. I could do it. You know, so later on, I'm gonna read on the other one because it was him and Joshua had came back with a good report. So he gonna take charge after Joshua. You know, so when you have assignment, you know, I'm talking to myself too. I had to get out of there. You know, take charge. Because if God tell you to do something, I mean God got confidence in you. He got confidence in you that you had a potential to do what He said you can do. You know, so I hope y'all enjoy this word. I hope y'all have a blessed and safe day and keep enjoying the weather. And I see you next video.